guys, welcome back for another episode of Hoeology Podcast. Today's episode is all about cleansing the coochie. I have a very special guest with me. I watched a couple of her videos and she did a really awesome one all about feminine care and just taking care of yourself and how we shouldn't be ashamed if we have issues because sometimes we do, sometimes we don't, but the best thing that we can do is basically just to be educated about it. So I'm going to start with our tweet of the week and then I'm going to let her introduce herself. So this week's tweet of the week says, bitches eat 3 cans of Dole pineapple chunks, then swear their vagina tastes like it. Nah, beloved, you still taste like beef oodles and noodles juice. Relax, sis. I think that's so funny because a lot of people swear that just eating fruits is going to make your vagina taste good when really it's a whole ecosystem living between your legs. So, I'm going to have our guest introduce herself. Welcome.
Thank you. So first of all, I am cracking up at the tweet of the week. Like, literally cracking up because that's too funny. Like, girls kill me. But anyway, yes, my name is Carlay. Y'all can just call me Lay or Lay Austin or whatever you're comfortable with. Yes, I am on YouTube. You guys can find me on Instagram. And yeah, so I'm from South Jersey.
Oh, snap.
I've been on YouTube maybe for like a year now. Yeah, I would say like a year. Yeah, so that's just pretty much me in a nutshell.
Awesome. What do you do like regularly?
Professionally, I'm a real estate investor. So I have a real estate company. We buy houses, renovate them, rent them out.
Oh, wow.
I'm also a licensed agent, so I list properties.
Yes.
So yeah, we pretty much help out our community with like real estate.
You go, girl.
So that's what I do in the daytime or whatever.
Yes, that is so awesome to hear. Good for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I came across some of your videos actually. I was dealing with like my own issue. One of the things that like right before my period comes is I always get this like weird like odor, like almost like blood, but there's no blood. And so I was going to my gynecologist. She's like, oh, sometimes that's just how people smell. I'm like, no,
right.
no. So I went to another gynecologist and she was like, oh, you have like reoccurring BV. Guess what the issue was?
What?
My fucking birth control.
Really?
Yes. So she was like, your birth control, like basically like my immune system was too weak to like fight off the BV that was being caused by the birth control. So I would constantly get just BV, like they would cure it and it would come right back. I was like, bitch, I got STD. Like I'm about to die. I'm pregnant. Like I did not know what it was. And so actually one of the things that you said in your video, which was apple cider vinegar, cures BV. Like it resets your pH balance, which I was just like, yes. So, but I was so embarrassed to talk about it, even to my gynecologist, because I'm like, bro, I've got to be like the only girl in the world. Like, I was just like, damn, like, and then I saw your video. I was like, you know what? It's not like I'm not the only person. I was like, I have to have her on here and talk about this because I'm sure like other girls struggle with like either discharge or whatever, or, just questions. And we're all so, I feel like some people can be so standoffish about a subject like this because it's touchy,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah. So I will first of all say shout out to the real men in the world who don't try to demonize women for dealing with, issues or whatever.
Yes.
Because a lot of men are very immature. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. So the reason I wanted to make the video to begin with is to kind of answer those questions that girls kind of feel embarrassed to talk about out loud or to verbalize. Like I've been in situations myself at the OBGYN, and like my old OBGYN, he was like a male, and I was just kind of embarrassed to talk about anything I was dealing with because I'm like,
right,
how do I know? Like, I don't know. I just didn't feel safe, talking with him about it. So
yes.
I wanted to make that video just for that reason. And I knew like what I was doing worked so well for me. Like I don't experience any smells, infections, any problems whatsoever. So I'm like, all right, if I have this YouTube channel and I help everybody out with their wigs and their makeup and their natural hair, right, I need to help out with this because I also have girls in my family that are close to me that are young with some uptight ass parents and different things like that. So they don't, the word vagina in itself is even like taboo. Like they act like it's something that got the plague and we can't talk about it. Like,
Yes, no, seriously. It definitely starts at home. Like my mom, God, she had like a hysterectomy after my sister, but I used to go in her bathroom all the time. She had like scented soaps and she would like douche. And I'm like, oh, this is what you're supposed to do at like like 16, 17. Like, absolutely fucking not. And
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like just bad behavior, I guess, is taught. So having to undo that and learn all over for yourself, it can be definitely scary. So thank you for, speaking about something like that. Like, I really seriously love it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, also I would say too, like with that, I grew up kind of in a household where that was kind of for my mom too, like the douching and all of those
Yeah.
scented soaps and all of that stuff. They claim it to be pH balance, but we really don't know what chemicals they're using. That's why in my video, if you notice, I talk most mainly about like all natural products that you use to cleanse,
Mm-hmm.
that you use to maintain. Like I don't really get down with any of that chemically made, man-made nonsense. Like it just, for me, I've never had any good results with it. Like
Right.
I've always had issue after issue trying to use that stuff. So I stray away from it. I feel like all the things we need for our bodies is right here in the earth. And I'm not no like hippie or anything like that, but like it's the truth.
No, that is so true. So very true. And actually, so one thing that you talked about, speaking of all natural, was steaming. And I feel like this has grown to be like not popular, but like more talked about in our community, like Black women. And so I was kind of hoping you could like give me like a rundown of what it is and like how you found out about it and that kind of process.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's actually a really, really good question. So bee steaming is something that I am extremely excited about because I love it. But anyway, what it is I'm gonna try to explain it the best way I can. So what you do is I go to a spa and you sit like on this. It's kind of like a pot almost. You sit on a pot
Mm-hmm.
and there's like similar to like a crock pot underneath of you. So you sit on it and there's like a crock pot underneath you and it's literally like cooking up steam. And the spa I go to, they create herbs for whatever it is that you're dealing with. So if you go to her and you tell her, hey, I'm dealing with ovarian cysts, or I'm dealing with endometriosis, or I'm dealing with odor, or even problems as big as infertility, she creates herbs to help combat those issues that women deal with. And even if you're not dealing with any issue, maybe you just want to go for just maintenance reasons,
Right.
she has like a general kind of one size fits all like herb bundle for that as well. So that's essentially what it is. And then while you're sitting on the pot, you kind of just let the herbs steam up inside of you. And I don't know what the herbs do that are healing. I'm not a scientist, but all I know is that they get the job done, child. They get the job done.
Really?
So yeah, and then how I found out about V steaming was I actually, so how can, this was years ago. Yeah, so I was dealing with my first ever yeast infection.
Ooh,
And
child. Ooh, child.
girl. So I got over it. And I didn't really do anything special. It just kind of just faded out on its own.
Mm-hmm.
But after the yeast infection, there was just this smell that would not go away. So I'm like, all right, I didn't feel like myself. I was embarrassed. And shout out to my boyfriend who was very understanding. But
Yes,
yeah,
girl. We
I
got
didn't.
some good men.
Yes, girl. So I really didn't feel like myself and I was very embarrassed about it. So I started researching like natural remedies for women dealing with different like vaginal smells, and V steaming was like the first thing that came up.
Wow.
So yeah, it's crazy. So I started doing my research on that, and I learned that it's like this old like Indian ancient thing that women use for fertility and different, like those women are having babies at 50 years old just because they use
Damn.
them. Yeah, it's like it's really that deal. So I actually found a spa right here in South Jersey that did it, and I went to her for my first time, and she doesn't treat it as if you're just dealing with your vagina. She treats it as a holistic thing.
Wow. That is
So
amazing.
when you first go, Yeah, so when you first go, she gives you like a massage. She helps you relax because she knows like how uncomfortable it could be your first time. And then when you first like sit on a pot, she's like sitting in the room with you and she's asking you questions about your fears and different things that we need to let go of as women. And it's
Oh
just
my
like a
God.
whole like
Right. Like,
therapy
so like a
session. Like,
spiritual release. Like, wow.
yes, and that's exactly how I felt when I left there. It was just so, I don't know, it was just so awesome. Like I just felt like a brand new woman. Like I really felt brand new. So yeah, and V steaming though, like in my opinion, I think about it and like I get one done every month, but I do, it's very expensive. Like not even gonna lie. I don't want anybody to listen to this and look it up and get disappointed. Like, you know, a V steam can run you like 100 $150 a month just like going to one appointment. Yeah, it's a little pricey. It's a little pricey. But sometimes, you know, when money is funny or when I don't really have the money to put up for that, I do buy an at-home V-Steam
Okay.
kit. So yeah, so there's a girl on Instagram. She sells her at-home V-Steam kits, which are very effective. I had the same, you know, results that I have going to the spa. The only difference is I do it myself at home. And if you want, I can give her
Yeah,
name,
what's
or if you
her?
have show
Yeah, we can
groups or
tag her on our Instagram as well. Um, what is so
yeah.
okay, now quick question. Have you heard of the little there's this there's a group on Instagram, Empress Body. They rave
Yeah, I
about
actually
that.
used their products before.
Did it do bad or did you like it?
So I used the little
Yes, that's
pearls.
what
I
I'm
don't know if
talking
you know
about,
that they.
girl. The pearls, like, do they
Yes.
work?
So I can't really say they work or not, just being honest, because I think I used it
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
So, like, because I know, like, when you use the pearl and it comes out, it's supposed to come out with all of its, like,
Yeah, like,
you know, like
yeah.
toxins and buildup. I didn't have anything come out with it. So I was like, maybe I used it
Hmm.
wrong. Like, and I know my body ain't 100% pure, so something should have came out. So I'm like, shoot. So I'm
Right.
like, something's not right. But yeah, I don't think I used it right. So I can't say whether it works or not, unfortunately.
Wow. Well, yeah, no, but I know they actually post a lot of like feminine health and like vaginal health, like just need to knows or like did you know, like different, like natural things in holistic medicine, which I just love, like different fruits to eat, not pineapples though. But
Yes, yes. And not the dole. Boy, that's
right,
sugar,
that is a
okay?
sugar. But
Yes, but yeah, yeah, I that's what attracted me to Empress Body. Just I was following them for a while and I was seeing like all the testimonials and different things. I'm like,
right.
let me try this out.
I'm always skeptical
And
about that stuff, but like every time I see like their reviews, I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Like you helped me get pregnant. I'm like, damn, I need to invest.
yeah, it's yeah, I don't remember it being expensive. Like, cause if something was expensive, I could remember the dollars and the cents. But I
Right, right. I'm cheap.
but I don't remember it being like crazy expensive. So I don't know. Maybe yeah, I think you should definitely try it out. I feel like you might have better results than I did. Maybe I didn't read the instructions all the way or something. But yeah, I definitely didn't like notice any differences, unfortunately.
Dang. But that's cool. So so what exactly did you search to be able to find a spa that specifically does the V steam?
Oh yeah, so I searched V Steam near me or something like that. And since I live in South Jersey, a lot of like Philly results came up. So if you're in the Philadelphia area, there's a whole bunch of spas over in that area. But the reason I went with the girl I chose was because not for nothing, but she is a black woman and I'm all about supporting black owned businesses. So that's why I picked who I picked. The other companies you'll find are more like Asian owned or Middle Eastern owned because that is like their practice,
Oh, okay.
and it's something that they do in their country. So you'll find a lot of authentic places like that as well. So
Interesting. So I live in Tampa, and I was looking for a spot here, and I did find one. I don't know if it's black owned though, but they had like a nice little website, and it kind of gave like a detailed like view of what to expect, or not view, but a detailed like explanation of what was going to happen and where they are and all that stuff. So I'm excited. I am going to schedule my first appointment after talking with you.
yes, you
I'm like,
should. You definitely
I'm
should.
I don't know, especially after getting my birth control. It's removed now, but I just like I need like a reset button. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, and it's crazy because when I got my V steam, my first one, that's when I stopped using birth control, and I was kind of on the same type time where I was like, you know what, like this birth control kind of got me out of whack. Like I need to just, try again.
Yeah.
And birth control, I don't know if you noticed in my video, I kind of like touched on it, but I didn't want to get too
Yeah.
far into detail, but because I know a lot of people use it for different reasons, and I don't want to come off like judging anybody,
Right.
but that birth control has very, very negative effects.
Oh
Like
yes. Oh
it's
yes.
just, oh my gosh. So ladies, please do your research before you hop on the birth control bandwagon. Like, please, please,
It is.
please.
It really is. And I was like, it's funny because I was so anti birth control until I got on it, and of course I got on it for a nigga. Ugh, ugh, ugh. We not going there, but
The things we do, the thing for me, when I got on birth control, girl, like I freaking loved it. I'm like, what? My period is only 4 days
hello.
and it come the same time every month. I just thought I was on top of the world. But I don't know what happened, like with my insurance or whatever, but they switched over and my birth control switched over to a like generic brand.
Hmm.
I started getting these migraines and pain shooting up my back. I was like,
Yes, that's what
oh
I
no,
have
no, no, no,
too.
no. Like,
So now I have like
yeah.
chronic muscle spasms actually because, and I have Flexeril, a muscle relaxer prescribed to me because it's never going to be undone basically. So,
Wow. See that?
yeah,
So yeah, y'all, please, please, please. That birth control stuff
it's no
is
joke.
it's a lot. It's a lot. Like,
Yeah, it is. But and my sisters, like my little sister, she has like really bad periods. Like she gets migraines, she like vomits sometimes. It's bad, and she's like,
wow.
"Oh, I think I'm gonna try to get on birth control." I'm like, I don't know. Like what you asking for may be a little worse than what you have. So
Yeah, yeah. Definitely she should look into some more like natural remedies, maybe. I don't know. I can't say for sure, but like birth control ain't the way,
yeah,
sis.
no, I totally agree.
Yeah.
So on Hoeology, we like to play a game called Kink or Can. We haven't played this game in forever, so I'm sorry, guys, but hopefully we can bring it back. And basically, you say kink if you would do it or you have done it, and you say can't if you absolutely would not do it.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So let's start with an easy one, and they all relate to hygiene. So, well, hygiene edition.
Nice.
All right. So the
Nice.
first one is waxing.
Kink all day, every day, once a month. I don't
What?
miss my appointment.
Hell to the no. I have a very low pain tolerance, and it's crazy because I have tattoos and I get laser hair removal actually.
Oh, see, I was thinking about trying that. How do
I
you like
love it.
that?
I have very thick, coarse hair. It's one of the reasons I struggle with being natural. I have
Oh,
very thick hair,
wow.
very strong hair. Like when I shave, it grows back the same day. So
What?
And
Wow.
actually one issue I struggle with my poom poom is the like dark spots because I have very like golden skin. And so
Oh,
shaving,
okay.
all those ingrown hairs, you get like scars. So I used to be so
Mm-hmm.
self-conscious wearing a bikini, and laser hair removal evened my skin tone. So now I look like an Instagram
What?
model, You know.
Okay,
I'm out
Instagram
here.
model.
So now I can wear like high
Yes.
cut bikinis and not put on like fucking like concealer or some shit. Like, yeah,
Yeah, that's
I love
lit.
it. I
Wow.
seriously recommend it. It is also expensive, but Groupon has some deals. So
Oh, see, don't you
I
love
swear
Groupon?
I
Like,
do. I do. Yeah, so I would definitely recommend that to anybody. And it doesn't really hurt. It just is annoying. It's like a tattoo, basically. Just an annoying
oh,
pain. But
okay.
waxing, I think I almost fought the girl that was waxing me one time.
Oh
And she
my God.
didn't finish, so it was all patchy.
Oh no, you ain't even let my sis finish. Oh
And
Lord.
it was such a nice like waxing place too, because they were like, "Oh, do you want some wine to try to like relax?" I was like, "Oh, sure."
Hmm.
Bitch, I didn't make it 2 seconds. I was like, "Get out, stop."
Oh my God. That's
I can't do
hilarious.
it.
Oh man, I love it. My I think I have a high. I don't know if I have a high or low pain tolerance. I just the waxing just doesn't bother me. So I guess I have a high pain tolerance, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I love it.
can't. I don't know. Do you get a full Brazilian or you get like a landing strip?
Full Brazilian.
Yes, bald and beautiful.
Bald and beautiful.
I'm here for it.
Yes.
I saw somebody comment on like a post on Instagram. They were like, they post the like ingrown hairspray, and they were like, I just can't get with the bald pussy. I was like, I said, you must be from the 70s. Like,
yes, with that
right,
wolf.
I can't handle it.
I can't. And also, just a quick tip, like not to get off topic, but a quick tip. A lot of hair down there, like bacteria can get trapped in the hair, and
that's a good point.
How a lot of women end up dealing with things like yeast infections and BV and different, things that come on from too much bad bacteria. Especially if you're a person who works out, who's active all day. A lot of hair is not it, sis. So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend shaving for nobody because that ain't it either.
Right, clearly.
But, you should get some hair removal services.
Yes, I can't. Okay, so what about lambskin condoms?
Cannot. And I'm only saying that because I never use them, so I don't want to say kink because I would just be lying. But
no, I've never used them either.
Yeah, I never.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know anything about them. Like, but definitely be careful picking out condoms because, people have sensitive skin and they don't know, and then they use the wrong condom, and they think they got herpes.
Yes, I can't even. I've tried. What is it? Some kind of Trojan that like makes my vagina like swell up. So I can't. We just do the pull out because I can't.
Yes.
I can't.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, if you got a steady partner and you trust them, like condoms, first of all, are like very expensive after a while.
Yeah.
Like, especially if y'all are like highly sexually active. That's a lot of condoms. Like,
It is.
A lot. Like
it is. Okay, so I think we know the answer to the next one. Full bush.
Cannot, will not, do not.
That's okay. Okay. All right. What about a male gynecologist?
I never heard of that.
What?
Is that a thing? Oh, I thought you. Oh my gosh, girl, I'm so slow. I thought you were saying men go to the gynecologist.
I'm dead.
Oh my gosh. Don't mind me. I have my little spells sometimes, but
my gynecologist is actually a guy. My favorite one though was this black lady, and she was back in my home state of Missouri, but I can't find a black one here. But so now I go.
Yeah.
So like I said, I live in Tampa, but I drive to Orlando to see him because he is just. I can tell him anything, and he never makes me feel bad, or he never makes me feel like dirty or nasty or anything. Like he is the truth.
Right.
Like he talks to me like a human. He asks questions, and he like generally cares. Like. When I wanted to, when I wanted to change birth controls, he was like, well, what's going on? Like, okay, like, I understand, that's a side effect and let's get it taken care of. Like, he's so sweet. He checks on me. Like, I love him. Dr. Cruz in Orlando. Shout out to him.
That's awesome. My male gynecologist, so he was really, really old. So he was very like old school, and he would make comments that I wasn't on birth control, but he knew I had a boyfriend and I had the same boyfriend. He was like, well, you shouldn't let a man like choose for you if you're going to be pregnant. You should get on birth control. And I'm like, I don't want to be on birth control. Like, stop asking me that. Like, so it was just like stuff like that. He was very like old school and just like some, like, how old people kind of just think they can say whatever and like it's cool. They're not really like sensitive to us millennials. So.
Yeah, no, they're not. They say some sideways shit, and I have to tell them like, I don't have to respect you because you're my elder. Like, you get respect because you give respect.
Right, I agree. So yeah, that's kind of how he was. Like, that's not okay. Like,
right, man. I can't. Okay, what about food play? Like using food during sex, like whipped cream or I don't know what other people eat.
Cannot. So all that sugar equals yeast infection.
It does.
So if you put in sugar on the coochie, you better just hope it doesn't go inside because that means yeast infection.
What about like kale or something?
Like, kale,
celery sticks.
Is that sexy? Like I mean, my boyfriend never asked to do that.
Right, like you gonna get this superfood today, girl.
You're right. But I probably would just decline. Like, can you put that back in the kitchen where it belongs?
Right. Pay them $10 for a bunch of kale and you try to use it during.
Yes, and you want to have sex with it. Like, no.
Okay, so that was a cannot. What about dating a guy who doesn't manscape?
Definitely kink. I don't have a problem with that. Yeah, I don't have like I'm all about do what you want, but don't be trying to tell me what to do. So like if you
Okay.
want to get wax down there, or you want to handle that however you handle it, cool. And if not, that's also cool. Because I know men could be a little, I don't know, men are not as like girly as us, like all the time. Like they don't always care about stuff like that. So I'm cool with
But
that.
I think that's so crazy because like they have a lot of men have a lot to say about how women should do things or should smell or should look, and it's like
guys who have so much to say about women don't even know how to like wash underneath their balls.
No, that is so true. It really is. Like I can't stand like a musty dick or like
y'all
I
don't
just
even
can't
clean
like
up. Like
right.
Like, guys can be really gross. Like
They
really
can.
gross. Like they don't even moisturize or anything. I just be like, ew.
Okay, so real quick, your top 5 hygiene tips.
Sure. So my first hygiene tip is always go to your OBGYN. I don't waste time. I go once a year. You should be going once a year. I go in January. If you're grown of age having sex, you need to be seeing your gynecologist.
Absolutely.
Number 2, I would say we need to kind of start embracing more natural products. So not just washing your vagina with apple cider vinegar and water, but also just monitoring the soaps that you use to wash your body. Because if you're washing around your vagina with Dove and that's no judgment to anybody who uses like chemically based soaps, but those soaps, you know, they are not pH balanced and they are not good for the cookie. So just try to switch to like, for instance, I use a shea butter soap. Sometimes I switch between that or like an African black soap. So just soaps that are naturally derived, just to like make sure, like just to add that extra layer of security that we're not doing anything to mess up
making sure
pH.
nothing extra is getting in.
Because the smallest little thing can mess your pH up. So
I definitely agree.
Yeah. Number 3. So number 3, I would say definitely research based on your own body. So I know this isn't really like hygiene based, but we all have different symptoms. We all have different things. So you should be asking questions. You should be talking to professionals and doing research based on your own body. Yeah. Number 4, I would say hair removal services, please. So whatever you decide to do, I wouldn't really recommend shaving, but if that's your main thing, that's your main thing.
I wouldn't either. I actually cut myself and got an ingrown hair and had to have surgery because I developed a cyst from shaving. Yeah.
See that? See,
yeah.
No shaving. I've cut myself quite a few times shaving, but luckily it didn't get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, just like I'm dark skinned, so like the dark marks and just the ingrown hairs and the discomfort, like I feel like after shaving I can't wear underwear for like 3 days because I'm so uncomfortable, and like so it's just not worth it. Like, so I would definitely recommend some other form of hair removal services because bacteria holds on to hair follicles, and it's dark down there. It don't get much sunlight. It's enclosed, so we need to try to keep her as free as possible. Yeah, it's moist. It's just like hair just doesn't mix. Like I don't even know why we grow hair down there, but anyway.
I don't know.
Right. And number 5 would be to I talked about it a little bit in my video, but definitely invest in a probiotic.
Oh, yes. I got one. I just got one. It's VH prebiotic with cranberry.
Yes. Whether you decide to go with a yogurt or just a vitamin in itself, just beware of the differences. So a yogurt is more so for your intestine and your gut, and a vitamin, if it's made by like a feminine line, then that's more so for your vagina. And those are 2 different kinds of probiotics, but they do kind of help in the same areas. So definitely I would say that as my last point.
Well, since you gave us 5 hygiene, I'm going to give 5 signs maybe that something might be wrong. So I'm going to say if there's an odor, if, it smells like fishy or just foul or just, it don't smell like water.
Right. Yes.
do need to see a doctor. Don't Google is not a doctor. I know sometimes we like to, Google and cancer or death are the only two options.
Yes.
So I would say always, always go and see a gynecologist that you trust. I would say if you're itching, so odor, itching, like that's a first sign of yeast infection, or a UTI, which we also get frequently just from not peeing after sex.
Yes.
That which is important. So you said in your video, you were like, I
Yes.
don't care if you're tired, get your ass up, go
Yes. And
pee.
go pee and clean yourself up.
Right. If you aren't getting wet during sex, that's a big, big thing. Like if you can't get naturally like lubricate yourself, that's a big thing. That's a very big indicator of an STD, which I did not know until college when I got chlamydia from my boyfriend who cheated. He
Really?
cheated on me, and I knew he cheated because I got tested before we started having sex. He cheated. I went and got tested because every time we had sex, I could not get wet to save my life. Like we had to
Really?
use lube or he'd have to eat me out, and it was just like, what's
And that's a
wrong?
lot because you're
Yeah.
young, so it's no reason, like,
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean?
Exactly. I was like, there's like, I was getting wet before, like, and it was,
Like, what's up?
yeah, it was chlamydia. Thank God it's treatable, but that's a big sign of an STD. So if you can't get like wet during sex or you don't have a sex drive, how many is that? That's three, or was I on four? We gonna
I think
go.
that was 3.
Okay, three. So number four, that something else is wrong is if your moods. I know sometimes like if I have a UTI or a yeast infection, like I'm just in a crabby mood, like I just feel uncomfortable all the time, like so definitely your moods. And then discharge, the big one. So I would say if your discharge, I think they're like clear to like white, like a mix in between that is like a normal, but anything like chunky or yellow or green or anything like that, go to the doctor. Like they can help you way more than your friends can, way more than Google can. Like
Then your mom, your grandma, everybody
yes.
swears they has the answers. We love our moms and grandmoms, but they don't always be knowing what they talking
No,
about,
for real though.
unfortunately.
For real though. So I would say those are ways to know that if something's wrong. So if it is, go see a doctor.
If I laugh at anything, it's not to be offensive or anything like that. I'm just naturally goofy. I had to say this in my YouTube too. And also, if you're dealing with something, you're not dirty, you're not, casted out of society because your vagina smells fishy. It's an imbalance and it can happen to anybody. And it's
Yes.
not, and sometimes it's not always related to sex. Sometimes maybe you're just taking one too many showers a day, or
Too many
wearing the same
sweets.
underwear for too long or something. Like anything could cause it. It doesn't make you a dirty person or a nasty person. So definitely don't get down on yourself if you're dealing with anything. Just go see a doctor and get yourself some help.
Yes, we love that message. Like we're totally all about like not judging, because if one person has been through it, I'm sure a million others have or will go through it.
Yes.
So thank you so much. Where can everybody find your videos and where can they follow you?
Yes. Thank you. So everyone can find me on YouTube if you just search Lay Austin TV. So that's LAYAUSTIN and then TV. Put that in the search bar on YouTube and I should pop right up. And then if you watch any of my videos and click the description box, my Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat is linked. So you can find me on Instagram through there. Also, I forgot to mention, so with the V-Steam at home kits, the girl that sells them on Instagram, her name is actually Bear by Jolie. So it's at BAREBYJOLI. And she sells them at home. You can contact her and get one made and she'll send it right to you.
That's lit. I might do that instead of going to or you think I should go do it first so I actually know what to do and don't like burn my
I
vagina
think
lips?
No, I think you should go do it first. I would say go get the full experience just so you can see how it is in a spa setting.
Right.
But like I said, it is a little pricey to keep going back and keep going back. Like me, I kind of do it now as a treating myself thing. Like so every other month or so, I'll go to the actual spa. But the at-home kit is awesome too, because if you're dealing with anything and you don't feel like you want to go, or maybe you want to go more than once a month, you want to do it more than once a month for whatever reason, like there are people that do it once a week, but that's very expensive going to the spa. So
Right.
that's kind of what she's for. Like, she creates the at home for, you know, just a more affordable option so everybody can have access to it.
That is awesome. Well, we seriously thank you for being on Hoeology, and I can't wait for everybody to hear this and go woosah. They have a solution now.
Yes,
Hopefully,
I'm
everybody got some good
excited.
tips. We are too. So, thank you guys so much for listening, and we love you. And we'll be back with more episodes.